Hi, I'm Richard Earl, founder and chairman of Talent. Talent has built a great global tech recruitment brand through an approach based around entrepreneurialism and innovation. During COVID, over the last 12 to 18 months, those things have been challenged, those values have been challenged, and it's made me think, how have other leaders and entrepreneurs dealt with COVID? What have their experiences been like? So we thought we'd put a series of short interviews together with a number of people out there who've been very successful in their field. And the first of those is Creel Price. Creel is an absolute legend in the startup sector, has done some amazing stuff through his company Investable, which has got behind well over 70 startups. So hi Creel, let's find out how you've handled COVID.
Hi, I'm Creel Price, co-founder of Investable, an early stage investment group with offices in Sydney and Singapore. My entrepreneurial mind really switches on in a crisis. It's something about that necessity entrepreneur that has to do something more creative in order to overcome some of the problems that you're faced with. So I think from that point of view, I was coming up with great ideas. On the downside, there wasn't that opportunity to whiteboard it with a team in order to be able to strength test these ideas. I think my approach to business has changed quite a bit. The ability to be able to do business virtually has really expanded massively. So you don't need to have a new footprint in a new country or a new city. There's also a lot more talent mobility. You don't necessarily have to have the talent from the city you're living in, and equally to try and accommodate people to be able to work at home more. There's more part-time hours or casual hours or whatever hours people really want to work, and that's definitely going to be a big change in the future. Few techniques that we deployed that probably we wouldn't have done if we were all housed in a physical office, such as we had Zoom lunches together. We were even playing quite a few games. There's some really great apps to be able to bring people together in a competitive way. And I'm a big walker, and I really made sure that I did probably more walking than I would normally just to get out of the house. Yeah, I think I've always been a believer that if you want to have your big ideas, you should be outside. I personally go and climb a mountain and have that view. So if people are more constrained, and I really felt sorry for people that had really small, apartments or people that were living with their parents and they had to do a lot of work in their own bedrooms, definitely ideas would be smaller. For me, it was just making sure I got outside and really thought about the big picture and where this might end, and I think the creative process helped stem from that. Well, COVID definitely made us cut costs faster and harder. We actually had a bigger focus on revenue, and I think probably from an entrepreneurial bigger point of view, we really had to launch products in a matter of weeks rather than what would have normally taken 6 or 12 months. I think the mistake was probably predicting that the investment markets would really shut down, particularly in our early stage investment side of our business. But in fact, the opposite was true. This has been a time where technology advancement has really been brought forward, and there's a huge amount of interest in tech, and we've had the best year, as it turns out, ever. If there's one piece of advice, it's probably that there's a lot of doomsaying in these sort of crises, but you've always got to think about, okay, how are we going to work together and think about the positive outcome in the long term.